Welcome Lucy, welcome Brendan. Hi. Go ahead and get settled and we'll just take a few moments here. You guys can hear me okay? Great. As we're waiting for a couple of people to trickle in here to our beautiful temple space in Nevada City, Temple of Integration, I want to just welcome you all in person and dear ones here on Zoom land, and for being so open to this sweet little experiment that we get to be a whole community and growing community, that whether we're here in person breath to breath, which is some of my favorite forms of really practicing, and being in outreach with those beloveds who are far but so near, which is another form of my favorite. So I wanted to just really see how we can begin to grow our global family like this. So my intention today and every day is to really set the tone in a way that we all know, whether we see each other or feel each other, that in these practices we're breathing together, we are putting our prayers and our intentions and our hearts together, our coherence together, no matter what the distance is, as long as we come together with the mutual intention of harmony, essentially, and well-being. So with that, we'll go ahead and begin. And if anyone else trickles in, they're welcome. But I just want to welcome you to your own space now. Take a few moments to arrive here to your breath. Arrive here to this beautiful space and just take a few moments for acknowledging where you are today. Welcome. Beginning to invite your attention and invite your awareness within your body, within your heart, within your breath. And wherever you are, in your home, in this temple, just take a moment, whether you have your eyes closed or softly gazing, to acknowledge and notice what you are surrounded by. Notice the elements, the elemental wisdom spirits of our earth that we're sitting upon, our waters that we get to drink, that we are literally made of. Perhaps we're the ones that we're surrounded by. We have the great blessing to be nearby the Yuba River here. Connecting to our primordial fire, our sun, our life-giving force. And our sacred air, sacred wind, our breath. So as we invite all of these elements, so without as within, and tuning into the elemental spirits within, and let's connect with our breath together. Let's take a deep inhale from the nose. And open the mouth, releasing it. Sighing it out. Yeah, let's do a couple more of those. Breathing in. And one more, arrival breath. You've made it, you're here. You're here today, and look where you are so far in your life. Here is the point that you get to sit. So welcoming you once again. My name is Tutku, for those who are new to this practice. Welcome, Jade, and welcome to Chitanyo. It's a beautiful blend of Qigong and Tantra Yoga. Some of you are familiar, some of you are very new. And it's a really dear practice to my heart to bring these two primordial principles of fire, which in this practice really helps us with our digestion, just kind of with our density and getting into these dense layers. And then our water, the cleansing, the purifying, the clarity, the wisdom that we get to carry. So I feel like it's a beautiful blend. And for those who know me, you know that I love my tea, my Turkish tea, my tea ceremonies. And that's how I like to think that when the fire and the water comes together, it creates this beautiful, nourishing liquid. Something that is nourishing for our spine and our bones and our ligaments and our cells. Kind of like inner hot spring journey. So today's practice and today's intention is very much alongside with these waters. We're going to be tapping into our kidneys, working with the kidney element and the water spirit in our kidney elements. So before we begin and really begin to get intimate, I'd like to share that, you know, in our days right now on our planet, as we're moving through so much change and as we're moving through so much unknown, I take great joy to be able to gather like this in these practices, to really reclaim where our joy, where our confidence lies. And not from a stance of bypassing, because we can't. I mean, we're just so in it. And that is one of the things that our kidneys actually really encourages us to look at. It's like this dark, deep, watery organ. And it is said in Chinese medicine that the kidneys hold when it's out of balance, it holds excess fear. And so we might store our fear in many parts of our body, in our somatic wisdom. We are also unique, for some of us, maybe it's in the neck, heart, belly. But ultimately, the kidneys are these purifiers. And so as it purifies our blood, literally our water, we get to turn this fear that we, of course, all of us carry to some level. How can we not? But to acknowledge it and to really go into the wisdom of these deep waters of our unconscious. And then when it's balanced, it is said that the courage, not despite of fear, but alongside fear, begins to merge. And so that's what we're interested here today in this practice. So let's begin. Let's bring our hands together and take a nice deep breath. And we're going to just bring the hands to our kidneys, literally to our backs, giving it a nice big rub here. Exhaling and breathing in. And bringing our awareness and our acknowledgement to these little friends that we have there. They kind of look like ears. Interesting enough, they're actually somewhat connected to our ears and our hearing. So bringing the awareness there, and go ahead, take another breath as you have your hands rubbing your lower back. Exhale, breathe out. Tuning into the waters, like this deep blue waters as well. And taking a moment to connect with your presence, your attention, your intention, your prayer today. For your life, for someone that you care, for our humanity, for our planet, just as we're going through our own versions of fear and what it means to be on the unknown, how can we find the relief, the embrace within our waters, within our subconscious, to lean into the wisdom that our waters carry? So take a moment to connect with that intention of yours here, taking a few moments of silence, breath, attention, an intention. And then we're gonna bring all of that attention and intention to invoking our kidneys. We're gonna make little loose fists and literally begin to tap. Tap, 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 tap. Welcome, Mandy. Taking a deep breath. Now the sound for the kidneys is chew, like we're sneezing, chew, like choo-choo train. Yeah, so we're gonna inhale and we're gonna exhale with chew. Yeah, beautiful. Breathing in. Beautiful. And then go ahead and bring those little loose fists to your belly, all the way to the heart point. And kidneys kind of end up here. So when we talk about the kidney organ, we're not literally just talking about the organ. It's the energy that really radiates from the organ as well. So this wisdom we bring into our hearts. Let's take another breath here. And yeah, releasing some of that pressure. Yeah, great, Lucy. The puppy is doing some Qigong there too. And then go ahead and give yourself a big old rub. Rub your belly, rub your back, all the way until we give it to the earth. And then we're gonna come to our tabletop. So please bring, if you have any support you like, underneath your knees. This class is all about nourishing the nervous system, taking a rest when you need to, not doing what I might be guiding if your body is like, So please honor where you're at. And if you want to come along with me, we're going to spread the palms nice and wide, and also look at your knees that they're about hip distance, and let's tap the back of our feet onto the earth. Waking up some of the energy here. And the right behind these little points is called bubbling spring. It's also a kidney point, which we'll get to. Go ahead and rest. Look at your hands, spreading them nice and wide, saying good morning to the earth that we're holding hands with in this moment. And we're gonna breathe in, gaze up to the skies. And we're gonna exhale, take our navel in gently, and we're gonna push ourselves, our hips back towards our heels. So this is gonna be a dynamic, what's called Chakravakasana, kind of like a little inhaling, coming to cat. Good, and then exhale, begin to travel to your heels, and notice how your kidneys are starting to pump like that. So we're gonna equal wave of breath to this. We're gonna inhale 5, pause for a moment, exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the end of the inhale, gaze a little bit, and then exhale, take the navel in, 5 counts back. And we're just gonna keep going with this. So really let yourself lean in into that water, the fluidity. Exhale your generous exhales, begin to release. Beautiful breaths. Even though I can't hear you all on Zoom, I trust that you're generously breathing out. That's where the magic begins to happen. We don't need to know how we let go. We can trust that our breath takes care of it. There's a wisdom there. 3 more times. 5 counts in and 5 counts out. And if you need stillness, please pause. This is called Samavriti. Equal waves of breath. Beautiful. And after your third one, make this one count. Nice deep breath. And exhale, go ahead just where your intelligence wants to go. For most of you, I see you want to go to child's pose. That's exactly where we're going. Big toes touch. Knees open wide. If you need to put a little blanket underneath your booty and your heels, or a bolster to help you to relax in your child's pose, please give yourself that. Let's just allow it all to be released here for a moment. Taking deep breath. Our kidneys are also corresponding in the Tantra Yoga tradition towards the sacral. So our sacral channel, our Svadhisthana, is also holding the element of water. So let's take a deep breath to the kidneys. And exhale. With your next inhale, you're going to go ahead and walk your hands back. And we're going to come to a standing on our knees. So the sound for our sacral chakra, our Svadhisthana, is Vam, V-A-M, Vam. So we're going to keep that 5 inhale, 5 count exhale with the sound Vam when we come to the exhale. And it's going to look like this. I'll just demonstrate. So we're going to go into each side. We're going to inhale and exhale Vam and turn the cheek one way. Breathing in for 5. And go ahead and exhale Vam. Turning the cheek the other way. Breathing in. Vam. 5 counts in. 5 counts out. Vam. Beautiful. We're going to do each side twice. So 4 total. Vam. Vam. And taking this last one. Vam. You can rest here for a moment, or if you wish to stand on your knees, you're welcome to sit on your heels. However you like to, take a moment. Checking in, coming back in. Giving gratitude for these waters that we're made of in our spine, in our bone, in our ligaments, in our cells, our tears, our blood. Acknowledging that, and then coming back to tabletop. We're gonna literally do little smiley faces with the booty, like my teacher likes to say. Booty smiley face. And here is a moment for your waters. How do your waters just organically want to move? So check in with your spine, your lower back, your knees. Send that breath, like that warm breath where the fire meets the water. Like an internal warm cleanse. One side to the other. Maybe you want to add your neck. Maybe you want to do little S's. Yeah, this is your moment to really honor your waters. And it is said that, again, the kidney points reach all the way up to the ears. So check your hearing. That nearest sound may be as close as your heartbeat, as close as your breath. And the farther sound, perhaps my voice or the music. Beautiful. And then go ahead and come back to your tabletop and check your alignment, that your knees are about hip distance and you're nice and aligned, that your hands are under the shoulders. And we're gonna take the right leg back, squeeze that right little kidney, breathe in, and then exhale, knee to the nose. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. So now we're beginning to also invoke our little fire in the pit of our belly, which is called Agni, our digestive fire. It does so much more than digesting our food. our emotions, takes care of our really psycho-spiritual, somatic well-being. One more time. Good, and then we're gonna bring it to the side and literally bringing some water, some fluidity there. So pushing the earth to gain our support and our strength from the earth, our stability, but we let our waters to take care of our groins, our hips. Go ahead and switch it to the other side. Take a deep breath. Beautiful, and then we're gonna bring our foot back, kind of a little 90 degrees, pushing the foot. We're gonna inhale and exhale. Pump, pump, pump. So you can breathe exhaling through the mouth. 3, 2, 1, and reach the leg back. Breathe in and exhale. And again, take a moment for your smiley faces. Take a moment for your opening in your hips and listen where you're at. What do your waters want to communicate with you? Where do you find your courage? In the little things. And let's go ahead and switch sides, finding that stillness, that stability. If your wrists ever get tired, sometimes mine get a little achy, I come onto my fists like this. So that's an option if you have these wrist issues. So we're gonna inhale, push the left leg back. Deep breath, exhale, knee to the nose, yeah. Nice little stretch to the kidneys, they're beginning to smile. Beautiful, 3 more times, making space. And acknowledging that since we are in these deep waters, sometimes the unconscious, sometimes things that we don't really give space to wants to come through. So can we make a space to be with just the observation, just the noticing of what is happening in your thoughts, in your energy. One more time. That was way longer than the third. Good, and then go ahead, finding that fluidity to one side. And then to the other, breathing, sending the breath. And then coming into our little 90-degree, preparing for our pump. So we're gonna take a deep breath, and you can pump through your mouth like, notice your belly, notice your navel in your mind's eye, where the candlelight is beginning to flicker. 3, 2, 1, and go ahead, extend, let the waters flow. And exhale, coming back onto your tabletop, wiggling it out. And then we're gonna take a deep inhale, drop the belly, gazing up. And exhale, tuck the belly in. Let's do that 2 more times, breathing in. Exhale. And this next time, we're gonna stick the tongue out when we're exhaling. And lion's breath. Go ahead and tuck your toes in the back, and you're gonna just gently lift the legs up, coming into your downward dog. And you can bend one knee, go ahead and bend the other knee. Taking a few moments here for yourself. And breathe. You can come to stillness for a moment. Beautiful, and then go ahead, look at your hands. You may want to move your blankie or whatever you have in the center, and go ahead and step forward ever so slowly, like a walking meditation. And look at your feet. Let the feet anchor onto the earth, tuck the belly in, and let your waters, vertebra by vertebra, rise your spine up all the way till you come to standing. Head is last to come up, and we offer our hands forward. I have waters already cleansing, so excuse me, but I have to. Beautiful. So just take a moment here before we move. Notice how you're standing. Let's notice the earth that we're being supported by. Thank you so much, Mother Earth, for nourishing, nurturing. We tuned into the spleen organ last week. We started from our earth building up. So let's say hello to our spleen on the left side, below the rib cage, just to say hi. Yay. And then we're gonna open the feet about a little bit wider than the hips. So this is called a horse stance. You can have your feet parallel. Can see me there? Yeah. Or if you have funky knees, you can bring a little opening. It's all good. And just because we don't want to be too stiff, let's bring a little bounce. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, bring a little bounce, take a little moment to wiggle, jiggle, bringing that fluidity here from the roots, taking our breath. Beautiful. Okay, and then go ahead, come to stillness, bring your feet a little bit closer, and we're gonna just go to these diagonal kind of taps. So I'm coming to my tippy toes. You are welcome to do that. There's also a little kidney point called bubbling springs that we're activating. But just let yourself go with this form. It's called knocking on the doors of heaven. So the wise ones associated the kidneys that hold such deep wisdom to the gates of the heaven, gates to our freedom. So we're just going to be here for a little moment, tapping the kidneys, maybe tapping even the lung points, lung meridians, wherever your hands want to land, and just get in relation. Can gaze back just a little more, maybe for a little more twist, like an internal towel squeezing those kidneys. Imagine those beautiful blue deep waters in your mind's eye. Keep going. Can you soften your face? Soften the heart, still keeping the form. Beautiful. 10 more seconds here. Three, two, maybe you want to pause and look back on one side. Maybe you want to pause on the other side. And then we're going to all meet in the center here. Bring our feet about shoulder width distance. This is where we're going to light the fire and bring the waters into. So go ahead and bring your hands to the front, clapping. Yeah. One focus point, one drishti that doesn't move will help you stabilize and be in balance. So we're going to inhale, come to our tippy toes. Exhale, come to our heels. Yeah. And at any point, if you're dizzy, if you feel like, nope, this is not what's feeling nourishing, you know where to go. You can go to your stillness, to your rest. Otherwise, let's just groove with this. So know that you are invoking the wisdom of the kidneys, wisdom of the courage from the literally root up, from the points of our feet to the ears. So maybe our standing has to do with understanding. The deeper that we listen, The deeper that we get to listen, our waters keep going. What we're standing upon, our understanding, becomes our listening, becomes our wisdom. So what is our fear wanting to even teach us when we're afraid? 10, take a break if you need. And look at your navel. There's also this Agni, this fire in the pit of your navel. All right, last 3. 3, 2, 1. Give me a big hug, everybody. I love you too. And go ahead, hug yourself one way. Beautiful. Pause here. Inhale, give yourself another hug. To the opposite way. Good, let that go. Take your hands to your hips, shake it off. Breathe it off, shake it off, get it off your calves. Yeah. All right. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shimmy, shimmy. Lucy, you can hear the music there? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, great. So shake that hip, shake those hips. Yeah. Shimmy those shoulders. And then we're gonna literally release like we have something sticky in our hands, our wrists. We're gonna breathe in and the sound chew. Chew. Breathe in. Lift it up. Chew. Chew. Beautiful. Yeah, get into your neck, get into your feet. Where does it lie for you? Yeah, if you see a little human entering this way, please make it sassy. Make it little like, hello, I'm entering the gates of the heaven on this way. Feel free to take a sip of your water anytime and just take a moment to shake a little faster and then come into pause. Holding this chi field, knees are gently bent, face is soft, heart. Notice the rhythm of the music as your heart beats. We're gonna inhale, expand. Exhale, condense. Nice, inhale, expand. Exhale, condense. Big breath. Taking up space. And sometimes we get so small and we don't really want to be seen. We grow big and we express and we come back into our field, sometimes to hide. It's all breath of life. It's all breath of existence. Soft and supple, so know that you're water. Remember that we're water. We're like waves of the ocean right now. 2 more times. Just licking the shore. And then taking all of this expansion and all of this contraction, we're gonna bring one hand below the belly button and the other one on top. And just ground it into our sacral, grounding it into our waters. So ideally, ladies, you wanna have your left hand over the right, and gents, Brandon, even though I don't see you, you can have your right over the left. And I can do both, because, you know, I go to spirit, so it's good. Breathe in. Yeah, beautiful. Let your breath be the waves of the water. What are you calling in to your courage? What are you recognizing that you're holding fear? Acknowledging it. I'm aware of you. I'm aware that I'm holding fear in this part of my life. It's so very natural. For my life, I'm concerned. For the life of well-being of my humanity sometimes. I let that be felt. But then what do I choose then, if this is not where I want to live? Could this be the joy that's more digested and embodied joy from this place? Or rest? Or quiet and silence and peace? What do we get to choose while acknowledging? just let it all integrate for a moment. Go ahead and open your feet about wider than shoulder. We're gonna go into fountain, putting our backs of our hands together like that. We're gonna bend forward, and literally we're gonna just create our beautiful fountain. Circulating our energy, circulating our chi, taking it from the earth, giving it to the heavens. The ancestors below and the ancestors above, they know what to do with it. We don't know all the time. We just get to do these movements and breathe and do the best as we can as humans. But we ask support for the divine, for the higher presence, intelligence, our elements. So keep going. Can you soften your face? Can you trust your fire in the pit of your belly, pit of your heart? That's going to take care of it. And can we trust our blood, our sweat, our tears? And they're going to take care of it. Keep going. And tune into that wave of the ocean, wave of the sea. Is it the Mediterranean seas, Costa Rican oceans, maybe Mama Yuba? And take one more deep breath. And bringing all of that chi into your sacral. We're gonna inhale, sweep the arms from the sides. And you're gonna shower yourself like little raindrops and bring it all this to the center. Go ahead, step in closer. Below the belly button goes one hand and the other on top. This is our discernment powerhouse, our waters, our wisdom. So let's just breathe, nothing to do but to receive. What is arising for you? Can we be a witness to it? Simply putting the judgment aside for now, just simply noticing what's arising. Not letting that go. We're gonna give this to the dragon. The water dragon is gonna eat it up, whatever that was. This is called dragon whips his tail. Hence. So I have my feet about just a little wider than hips, not so much like horse stance, but just in between. And I always like to give a little bounce in between to remember that my knees are gently bent, that my sacrum is plugging like an avatar tail to the earth, but not too stiff. And then we bring our hands like we're holding some precious nectars right to our hip bones. So we're gonna inhale, bring the spine back, and I can demonstrate once. What I'm doing is like making this little S. I'll just first show that. Where I'm going is this waterways of from the sacrum to the cranial and back. And when I add the tail, dragon's tail, it looks like this. I thrust and I bring it to my sacral and I whip. So tuning into the graceful power of the water dragon, creating this beautiful S. And then each time we release back and exhale, kind of like you're thrusting, like bringing it all to your power. And then, once you find your groove, can you soften the shoulders a little bit so it's not too tight? Our yang field is the earth, where we are holding, our yin field, is the earth, where we're holding the stillness, the stability. And our yang is the sun, where we're beginning to give the movement. And notice where you're stiff, where you're wanting to control. And can you soften just a bit more to that? Can you slow it down even more? And then let's slow it down altogether, just a tad bit. Kind of like the waves of the sea just begins to lick the shores ever so gently now. Three more times. And after your third, go ahead and bring all of that chi, all of that yummy energy right here to your sacral, thrusting it, and then coming into your lower dantian. And breathe. We're collecting all of our powers that's been dispersed all over the place, distracted, into one focus point here, into our power of discernment. We remember we have a choice because we've sat in the darkness, we've sat in the void of the deep waters. We remember we have a choice. Not because we don't want to see what's unpleasant or uncomfortable or disturbing, even sad. It's because we are enlarging the capacity to be with that, sit with it, hold space for it, and then choose what we're really here for, what really our human experience is meant to be through the gift of the divine intelligence, which is our connection, which is our experimentation of our hearts and joy and beauty, the beauty way. And we forget and we come back, and we forget and we come back, just like our breath. All right, letting that go, opening our feet a little wider, this time a horse stance. Or goddess pose, some of you may be familiar. We're gonna go into spirals. So this is a great exercise for the kidneys. We're literally washing out anything that may be still accumulated. I hold that precious nectar by my hip bones, just like we did. Give a little bounce so it's not so stiff, yeah. And then I like to start with my right hand. I am turning my right hand and giving myself a nice little twist here, all the way until I can comfortably look back, but the movement is coming from the navel. And then I breathe in and I gaze at my palm. And if you're not sure, you can just observe me for a while. And then I go to the opposite side, I turn and I push behind me and I bring shoo, like a wave of the ocean. I'll do that one more time if you want to just gaze at me. So. We bring our sound back, okay? Inhale. Exhale. And if you're feeling your stance is too stiff, you can always shorten it. Really, how do your waters want to move more efficiently, more free, unconstricted? Just keep going, nothing to do, just to get into the flow zone. Can you soften your face just a bit more? Meanwhile, noticing the fire in the pit of your belly still. A couple more times each side. Keep going. And last time. And we just pause here, holding the nectar in our palms in our center here. Give a little bounce. And then inhale, open the arms. Step in a little closer if you wish. Pulling down the heavens. 2 more times, pulling down the heavens, connecting with the earth, connecting with the celestial wisdom of our ancestors. And remembering what we're made of. Heaven and the earth is right here, within our heart, within our bellies. So bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And for a moment, rest here. And I'm going to ask Brendan if you can turn your camera on just for this moment, please. Thank you. And just being here together in our hearts and in our bellies, uniting our breaths. Again, even though we may not see each other, we feel each other, and we are creating an incredible heart coherence. I know for my own, it's such a great, deep honor to connect with you all in this way. So let's radiate out this value of community, this value of being and breathing together, simply in each other's presence, witnessing each other in this time. Taking a deep breath and sighing it out. Beautiful, thank you. All right, let's come to our backs, please. And come to seating. And go ahead, before we come to final rest, we still need our mats. I'm gonna do a few more grounding poses, but before that, take your knees into your chest or anywhere they wanna go, and just give yourself this moment of release, relief. Massage your kidneys side to side. Maybe you want to roll one way, maybe to the other. And take a few moments for your own. I love this quote from Lao Tzu. The supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without striving. It is the safest thing. Let it, and it can penetrate mountains and the earth. So listening to the deep waters of your bones, of your ligaments. And then, for ladies, if you're not on your moon, and you can do this gently too, just gonna lift up our legs. I like to put my hands underneath, kind of like to support my lower back and my kidneys as well. And we're gonna open the legs. We're gonna make a little V, and we're gonna swim. We're gonna do a little bicycle, water. Imagine you're Just getting a nice little swim at the river or a lake. Bringing our blood, reversing our blood, our primordial water, and breathe. And let's remember that our eyes, our sight, our ears that can hear, our mouth that can taste, they can all do that because of the water, because of the saliva and the fluids. Our nostrils, our smell, because of the little waters. And you can reverse it if you like, your bicycle or your swim, do it the awkward way. We really love some awkward action around here. If you know, you know. And tune into the fascia of the body. Fascia is this incredible mycelium kind of network, but it's all made with water, watery, liquidy, supple, spiderweb-ish goo. So liquidify, breathe in. And then bring your knees together. Yeah, give yourself a tap. That sounds really good. Give yourself a little tap in the back of the knees, inside of the groins. Yeah, tap underneath the feet, bubbling springs. Beautiful. And then go ahead, rest the soles of your feet onto the earth. You're gonna bring the heels closer to the hips. And the knees are about like you're squeezing a block, a hip distance. So I'm gonna guide us in a moment, but before we lift up, I'd like to bring back that 5-count breath in and 5-count breath out, the Samavriti. So let's breathe to our bellies. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that one more time. Just the natural way of your back of your curve. And exhale. 5. Now with this next one, we're gonna push the feet onto the earth, lift the hips up. We're gonna breathe and bring the arms up and back like a little rainbow. And exhale, everything comes down. Yeah, so we're gonna do this with the 5-count breath. Inhale, 5. Pause and send the breath to the kidneys. Exhale, calm down. Beautiful. 5 more times on your own. After your 5, you can just pause at the top if you like to send a few breaths to your kidneys. You can bring your palms down and lift the hips if you like, or you can all really sit down. Where would you like to be? Wherever you choose, deep breaths. And then we all come down together. And we're gonna do a little synchronized swimmers. Yes, even if you're on Zoom. We're gonna open the palms, arms like a T-post. You can touch the earth with your palms if you need to move and adjust your things so you're not knocking anything down. Inhale, bring the knees into the chest. And with the count of 5, go ahead, hover the knees towards the right side, kind of like you're towards your armpit, but you're not gonna rest it just yet. Nice little twists here. Breathe in, 5 to the center. Exhale, 5. Left side. Inhale, center. Now you can come with the knees to the right and gaze to the left. See how that feels for your neck. And then switch. Samavriti, equal waves of breath. Just keep going. Each side on your own once. Beautiful breaths, deep breaths. And go ahead and next time you come to the right side, rest your knees on a bolster or maybe to the earth. You can squeeze in a block, you can squeeze in a blanket. Maybe you don't need anything. Just resting here. And breathe. Can you soften just a little bit more? What's the wisdom that's hidden below the fears? How can your fear teach to flow into the unknown, to trust the divine mystery? After this next exhale, go ahead and gently switch sides, breathing into the center. And exhale, release to the opposite side. Maybe this side is a little different. Maybe you need less support, more support. And can you breathe? Know that the wisdom that is held in our bones, in our waters, are from deep, deep ancestral wisdom. That's what the water holds. Not just from our own ancestry, as each of us individually go back to so many different parts of the planet, to bring the wisdom through our ancestors, our grandmothers, grandfathers, and beyond, but also the elements, the elemental ancestors of our earth, our celestial wisdom, our stars, our sun, the moon, the galaxies, the waters, the trees, the animals, our ancestors, before we were ever even here. And calling in that. Go ahead, take one more deep breath here. Exhale, come to center. And this is your moment. You can go to happy baby if you like, to hold your feet outside, inside, or you can take a little inversion if you like. Maybe you are ready to come to stillness. Take something that brings all of these energies into one point. So when I do suggest happy baby or an inversion, what you're doing is bringing all of the twists and all of the opposites into one point to be digested and integrated. And ask your body, what else could I give you to nourish you, to honor my wisdom before I come for a full stillness and rest? Yeah, pigeon pose is welcome. Supta Baddha Konasana. Heels touch, the legs open. This is your somatic impulse, intelligent asking. Taking another minute or two here. And then before you come to your final rest, maybe you need a sip of water. Maybe you need some blankets. Maybe you need some support underneath your head. You can put bolsters underneath your thighs. Really take out the opportunity right now. Invest in your rest. Invest in your stillness. Do all the little movements you need to do before you rest in final stillness. How comfortable can you get? This is a little story before we come to our meditative rest from Clarissa Pinkola Estes. Each week I like to share a little wisdom share from those who inspire us, who walk the path of touching in with what matters. My friends, do not lose heart. We were made for these times. I've heard from so many recently who are deeply and properly bewildered. They're concerned about the state of affairs in our world now. Ours is a time of almost daily astonishment and often righteous rage over the latest degradations of what matters most to civilized, visionary people. You're right in your assessments. The luster and the hubris some have aspired to while endorsing acts for children, elders, everyday people, unguarded, helpless, is breathtaking. Yet, I urge you, ask you, and gentle you, please do not spend your spirit dry. Most particularly because the fact is that we were made for these times. Yes, for years we've been learning, practicing, been in trainings, just waiting to meet on this exact plane of engagement. In any dark time, there is a tendency to veer towards fainting, and though we meet resistance, we more so will meet great souls who will hail us, love us, guide us, and we will know them when they disappear. Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world, but stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can help another soul will help immensely. It is not given to us to know which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward an enduring good. There will always be times when we feel discouraged. But the reason is here. In our uttermost bones, we know something. It is that there can be no despair when we remember why we came to earth and who we serve and who sent us here. The good words we say and the good deeds we do are not ours. They are the words and the deeds of the one that we have came here through. In that spirit, I hope you will write this on your wall. When a great ship is in harbor and moored, it is safe. There can be no doubt. But that is not what great ships are built for. Clarissa Pinkola Estes. Let's take a deep breath from the tips of our toes to the crown of our head. And exhale. Grounding into your stillness, just another layer down. And in this stillness, nothing to do but to receive. Allow the gravity to just take the heaviness. Let yourself soften into the gravity of the earth with each breath. Can you soften your jaw, your throat, even your eye sockets, your forehead, your ears? Can you soften your shoulders, your chest, your torso? Your upper back, your belly, just soft, given to the gravity. Your hips, mid-back, lower back, your thighs, your knees, calves, all the way to your heels, soft and heavy onto the gravity. Your mind's eye, and just gently beginning to imagine this protective little golden egg beginning to caress all of your surroundings. little golden egg is beginning to grow from the center of your heart and encapsulating you in this protective shield, in this Wei Qi. These gentle golden rays of the sun, like a new dawn, or like a gentle little sunset, encapsulating you in its protective, nourishing, nurturing energy, giving life. And then again, your mind's eye, you look to a vast, open, beautiful, gorgeous nature. And you notice this little sweet, still lake just over the horizon. And with your awareness, you begin to get closer to this still lake. Notice its depth of the waters, how the sun may be reflecting onto its waters. And you simply gaze upon this still lake of the mind. As you gaze upon this still lake, just allowing the waters that are inside to match its stillness frequency, this calmness. Even if it's for 1 second, breathing the stillness in. Imagine one of your favorite nature spots, and there's this beautiful, gorgeous waters looking back at you, reminding you of clarity, reminding something in the cells of deep knowing, rejuvenation, replenishment, restoring. And just being a witness to this replenishment, this nourishment, simply just by the way of being the lake, seeing the lake within and all around. And then ever so slowly bringing your attention back to this moment where you are being held. Your breath, your body, and the waters. And taking a deep breath, bringing the attention back into this physical form. Taking a few deep breaths and begin to move your fingers, your toes. And take a nice deep stretch like you're just waking up from a lazy nap. Nothing to rush to just yet. And you can turn to one side, linger in this fetal position where it all began once upon a time. And ever so slowly, coming back to where we started, to our seat, and finding that comfort beneath. Support beneath you. You may sit cross-legged, or if you like to sit on your heels, but keeping your attention and intention inward for this moment. And once we all come to stillness, I want to invite us to our final breathing meditation before we close our circle. We're only going to do this 5 rounds, and it's going to look like we're sipping some precious nectar. It can be a water, some yummy nourishment, just the prana, just the chi. So it's going to be sipping in for 5. Suspending at the top, let your mind just nourish with that water and exhale out of the nose. This helps also release some heat. So breathing in 4 more times. After this round, go ahead and return to your normal breathing. As a part of our prayer, I like to offer some water here, and there's no rush. If you have in your house where you are at your waters, I'll be passing these cups just to kind of have a little blessing if you want to drop it into your hands, or so in anywhere that you can commune with waters after our practice, if it's not available right now. It's okay. Just this beautiful sound of the water. Let's bring our hands, one hand to heart, one hand to belly, honoring our sacral, our waters here within. Let's take a breath in, and I like to chant out Vam to honor our waters and the Bija mantra. You're welcome to join me, or you can just receive. And taking this next breath in. Vam. We give great gratitude for this day. We give great gratitude for our precious waters. Thank you so much, Source, Intelligence, Divine Intelligence, that you've designed somehow that we are purely, really waters. Thank you so much for making the waters that we get to intake so available to us, so clean and so pure, and the privilege to have the practicality within our reach, so nourishing our life within our reach. We know that that's not the case for everyone, and not everyone is blessed in this way. So we want to send our prayers in any way that we can be a support to those on this planet who don't have the water within their reach in this way. Thank you so much for our rivers and our lakes and our oceans that we get to dip in, that we get to commune in. We give great gratitude for all of the intelligences and the remembrances that our waters carry. Thank you to our sweat and our tears and our taste and our blood. Thanks for all the ways that water makes us who we are. We give great gratitude for our teachers and our benevolent ones, the ones that really foresee our well-being and our harmony, and call them in here with the wisdom of our kidneys. And thank you so much for these practices, these teachings, to be available to us in this way, that we can gather in community and remember and remind each other when we forget. Thank you so much, that blessing that is you, waters, and may we always remember to give you thanks when we have a sip, when we commune with you from today and every day in each of our lives. With that, I like to say, Aho, so be it. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. And for those who are on Zoom, so I like to just take a little bit. You can make a mess and just bless yourself. It's good. We like to get messy around here. If you don't have it available, you can totally go ahead and get it later. But just want to give you these. You can pass it around. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.